Our world is a unique spot we've never seen before. We are all collectively going through something together, all struggling in the world we live in with the pandemic going on. And we as people have the opportunity to be glad in these challenges. Be grateful for times of trouble, and in these times, we grow as human beings. We learn the most about ourselves, how we think, how we feel, and how we react to situations in our life. So, how can we as people flip our mindsets and turn something bad into something good? Ryan Holiday, a popular author I like, writes, "Discipline and perception lets you clearly see the advantage of the proper course of action in every situation without panic or fear." And to obtain discipline in a situation like this, you must accept where we are at in our lives. Like I learned to find joy in the little things, and when that switch flipped for me, it made all the difference in getting through this global pandemic. It was the true beginning for me in finding perspective. But it's not just about changing my own perspective, but how can we all, as people, look at this and take something from it? You need to evaluate your own life on the last 8 months and how it affected you personally.
I think one of the main ways that my perspective on life has changed since the pandemic is just appreciating social interaction when I have it. I think we all went through a time of quarantine, and it made me realize how valuable and necessary my relationships are.
And having strong relationships can be a big factor towards your own mental health. The people around you help create the way you view life, and it's so important because they help shape your perspective.
Social interactions being much more meaningful, and being able to go on trips and visit my family and drive places and go camping. All those things are much more meaningful after everything being taken away.
And when you've had everything taken away, you just have to make the choice of, am I going to use this time to get better as a person? Because if not, it's just going to affect you negatively. And that's why having good mental health is so important during the pandemic.
I would say that my mental health has improved through challenges. I think a lot of people's has, that you're kind of faced with a challenge with quarantining.
I'm grateful for the perspective that the coronavirus has given me. It's really helped me slow down and process the things that have happened in my life and the way I want to look at my life going forward. And I think a healthy thing to do is reflect on those things we loved in life. It'll help us appreciate things more when things get back to normal. Like a big one for me is I miss going to sporting events. I would definitely appreciate a packed crowd more.
The idea of going to a Mexican joint and sitting around the table with a bunch of boys eating chips, queso, and salsa, and just filling yourself to the brim before the entrees even come out. That's something now that I definitely took for granted, that I appreciate, and I'm very present for those moments now, thanks to the pandemic.
As challenging of a year this has been, I'm glad we can end it with how we always end, the holiday season. And if there's ever a time to find beauty in chaos, it's now. It's a time of giving and thanks. And I hope and pray people can finish the year with joy and love and hope, surrounded by the people we love and cherish. And our perspectives on life can be forever changed for the better. Graduating seniors are going through the hiring process with companies, and a lot of it is taking place online. Some Texas State seniors wish they could do it the in-person way.
You go in and you actually get to see their smile. They get to see yours. You get to actually shake their hand, and you just build that relationship. It's a lot better than doing it over Zoom. You don't have to deal with the technical difficulties and all that. It's overall a better experience.
But some of the graduating seniors say online interaction is just fine with them.
I think the benefits were that I felt more comfortable being in my own home, and it wasn't as nerve-wracking as it would have been going into the office.
With graduation coming up in May, many seniors will soon reach the finish line of their college careers. For Bobcat Update, I'm Trent Hegemier. The snow and powder outages in February prompted the university to shut down for a week and a half. And as spring break approaches, there's an effort to cover the assignments that were missed. Some students say the heavy workload is stressful.
Even today, a week after the storm, assignments are still getting changed, and it's super stressful because you don't know what assignments are due and the workload that's being put on us right now.
Students' mental health may be at risk if their professors aren't willing to make adjustments.
I mean, everyone's on different places. Some people have connections, some people have internet, some people don't. And I think they just kind of piled it all on thinking everyone could handle it when that's not really realistic.
Spring break begins March 14th. For Bobcat Update, I'm Trent Hegemier. Camping is a popular outdoor activity in the spring. It offers a safe way to be with friends while there's a pandemic going on.
I think camping is the perfect outdoor activity. I mean, especially with everything going on with the global pandemic, I believe it offers countless of safe alternatives that aren't usually a part of a person's day-to-day experience.
Camping is a fun alternative to being cooped up inside all the time.
It's a lot safer, less traveling. You're interacting with a lot less people, and it's just a safer choice than maybe going state to state and going to huge beaches and resorts.
Parks and campsites are starting to welcome back visitors. Call ahead for reservations and make sure you can find a spot. For Bobcat Update, I'm Trent Hegemier.